everybody. So today is August 26th, 2021, and I have the honor and privilege of bringing on my friend Bridget for an interview. So she and I know each other through our toxin-free living community, and she went through my keto program recently and totally rocked it. So I spoke with her and had her just give us some background and some ins and outs about her experience and then how things were beforehand and now. It's been several weeks, maybe a couple of months since that ended, but she's still rocking it. So definitely tune in. This is episode 21 of Vibrant Life. My name's Jessica Parker. I'm a holistic health coach with a master's in health psychology, and I'm a fitness instructor. So keto, specifically for women, is my jam. So anyway, she did awesome. This is a really fun interview. She's an awesome person. Super thankful to know her. And then I also wanted to share that I have a keto program starting on September 13th. That's a Monday, after Labor Day, after kids have gone back to school. So, and it is for women. I specifically work with women with my programs because we can dive into hormones and thyroid and autoimmune stuff and adrenal stuff and, just really get specific on those things that are my area of knowledge. So my wheelhouse, if you will. So September 13th. And if you sign up before September 6th, because that is my birthday, then I'm gonna give you $25 off using September Keto. So links will be below. Please message me if you have any questions. I will be sharing stuff about this program on social media if you follow me there. So, but it's 8 weeks. You get meal plans, you get all the ins and outs of what keto is, how it works, things I would recommend not doing, things I would recommend doing, how to keep it simple, and then of course how it impacts all the things I just mentioned in terms of your hormones and adrenals and thyroid and all that kind of stuff. So it's great. We have a private Facebook group that is one of the best parts of it, in my opinion, because you have all these other women doing it with you. And so it's a great place for accountability, to inspire one another, to ask questions and all the things. So you can go, again, there will be a link below and you can go there. And here's the interview. All right, so today we're going to talk to my friend Bridget, who went through my keto program. And actually, I meant to tell you this earlier. You look fantastic.
Oh, thanks.
So let's go ahead and start with you just telling us a little bit about you and where you were on your health and fitness journey before you and I connected.
Okay. So I own my own salon. I'm a mom of two, a wife to a ranch hand. We used to kind of do our own stuff, and then life happened and things changed. So he's currently working at actually my softball coach. It's his ranch. So when I was a early teens, through high school and stuff, I played softball for this gentleman, and his wife comes in and gets his hair done. So that's where my husband's at. And then, yeah, he loves it, loves it. And then, the health and fitness thing, I was just kind of stuck in a rut. I was trying to work out, but not being able to balance my time, and needed to be able to control my food. And this kind of just kept resurfacing, and I had questions, but wasn't sure who to ask. And thank the Lord you were in my life and I had someone to ask questions to. So
divine intervention.
Definitely.
I love it. So throughout all of that, where did keto come into that? What got you interested in keto?
So that was always one of those things that there's a bunch of people here in South Dakota, specifically, so I'm in winter. So there's different ones who are doing it with different programs. And the one specifically I'm thinking of, she did the national certification for like the health and fitness thing. It's the NASM stuff here. She does that and focuses on women's health, but she's also into the keto thing. So it's one of those things that it's like popped up reoccurringly for me, but I had heard like good and bad things and wasn't sure, like, you can do this and not do this, and you can do that but not do that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even, and it just kept reoccurring. So I'm like, okay, God, I'm listening. Like, you're telling me I need to learn more about this. Like, I'm listening. Where do I need to go?
Yeah.
Thank you for Jessica.
So awesome. So what was your journey like on my program?
So I completely just dove like head first. I didn't even try to like eliminate one thing at a time or whatever from what I was eating to not eating. I just jumped like both feet in and just ran with it. And I know some people can't do that. They have to wean themselves off things. Apparently I'm not one of those. But no, I just dove in and like followed your guidelines and stuff. I asked tons of questions. So thanks for not letting me be a pain in your butt. And just went with it. And I feel so much better. And the fun thing is like my husband eats the same things that I do. The kids would even eat some of the same things. And like, I've never felt deprived of like missing out on certain things. Honestly, like if I try to have like a donut or something, they just taste gross. Like I can't do it. It's just too much sugar, and bread doesn't even taste good anymore. And I don't honestly miss it at all.
Isn't that crazy? I just want to like pause. Like that is so true. And I never, ever, like Brett and I were like best friends before. So there was like, if you would have told me like that what you're saying would be true, I would have been like, no. So
Yeah.
it
No.
is.
It's so true. Like I before would make tons of homemade bread and stuff. Like that's all we did when we couldn't get bread and whatever here. And I had made a batch shortly after I had started. And I was like, oh my gosh, that smells so good. Like I need to just try it. And I took a bite and I was like, ugh, nope. Like I ended up giving 2 of the 3 loaves away, and my family ended up eating the other one. And like my husband and kids still eat bread and stuff. I just have no desire to at all. So yeah, no. Yeah.
So
it's kind of nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause it's not like other quote diets where you're just constantly like feeling deprived and like, you know, the can and can't type of feeling. It's like, no, you just don't want to because you feel better doing what you're doing.
Yep. You know, like, so we made BLTs the other day, and I did have like the Ezekiel bread or whatever. But even that, like, one piece was enough. And I ended up cutting it like in half and making my sandwich. And then the next one I did, I just made out of like the romaine lettuce leaves and threw my bacon and tomato and mayo and stuff on there and just ate it that way. I don't need to have bread.
Yeah. Yeah. Who would have known?
Right? Yeah.
How's your energy level since before and then now?
I feel like it's so much better. Obviously, you know, we've had some family weddings and stuff, so my stress level's been up, so I know that tanks my energy level, but I feel like I can go more now and not have to like stop as much as I did before. I definitely know it's helped with, okay, so I know this is super bad, but I wouldn't have been able to do this before. So I did wedding hair last weekend, away from home, and I completely forgot to pack some stuff for me. But I got up in the morning and had a cup of coffee and tried to eat part of a bagel that they had there. And I was like, oh my God, this is so bad. Like, I'll be fine. I'll get through this and then I'll go eat. I did not eat until 6 o'clock that night. Because they ordered pizza, and I was like, nope, I'm not gonna do this to myself because I know how I will feel. I would have never been able to do that before without getting shaky or hangry or anything. And I just kept drinking my water and made it through grocery shopping, and then grabbed myself some hard salami wrapped mozzarella sticks and some prosciutto mozzarella sticks and ate those on the way home. Finally. But I would not have been able to do that. And even like yesterday, I didn't have a chance to eat lunch yesterday. So it was like late in the afternoon when I got to eat, but I don't get shaky. I don't get hangry. Like I can do that when I don't schedule myself lunch. And I can still power through it and feel like I'm focused and able to function. And before I wouldn't have been able to do that. Like not even close.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where, we're taught like all these rules, like breakfast is the most important meal of the day and you must eat like throughout, like no skipping meals type of thing. And it's like, well, actually it can be better for you to sometimes like skip a meal or do some intermittent fasting. And like I had those experiences like you where you don't mean to, but just you get so busy with certain things that I never would have been able to either. Like,
like my hangry, I was one that I had to get up and have breakfast right away or just clear the room, clear the area, maybe just clear the zip code. Like don't be around me. Cause I was super crabby, like super crabby. But now I just get up and I do like my coffee and throw some coconut oil in there and my collagen powder and a little bit of like heavy whipping cream. And that's what I have until I eat lunch or, when I get a chance to eat.
Yeah.
I will get lunch today. I brought lunch, so I will be eating today.
That is so awesome. Well, cheers to that. That's what I'm happy to hear. Do you use a frother in yours?
Yep, I do.
I feel like it makes such a difference.
Yes.
So, what, like specifically about when you were doing my program, were there specific things that you liked or certain things that you struggled with that you could share with others?
So the things I liked was I absolutely, honestly, I loved that you sent the full 8 weeks of a meal plan. Like that was so nice. I saved that. I still have that. And I still reference back to a lot of recipes on there. I do want to eventually get through all of them. And they were easy. Like that was the nice thing. It wasn't things that were hard and took a lot of time to do. And like, they're so filling, which was awesome. I didn't feel like I needed to go snack when I was done or whatever. Like that part was awesome. And they warmed up great for leftovers for me at work because I bring my own lunch to work. The thing I did struggle with was I'm super limited here to what I have access to for groceries because I live 3 hours from one like big city and I live like 2 from the other one. So like our closest Walmart or anywhere you can get like extended things is an hour and a half away from me. So I had to learn to be creative. And if we were going to be out of town, I had to learn to grab stuff and kind of plan ahead and like think outside of the box how I could use what I had here to get. Thank goodness for Thrive Market. And I could order a bunch of like different things from there, like the flowers and like the almond meal and stuff like that. Cause the prices of things like that are here are like little tiny bags for what I pay for a big bag when I order it from Thrive. So that was really the only thing I kind of struggled with after getting it all figured out.
Yeah. That's what happens when you live in South Dakota.
I know, right? Totally no. And there's even like, when I went and did wedding here, I went home through Pierre. Our capital is an hour and a half from us and they have a Walmart. And I wish I had access to different like options, like more of a like an organic place or whatever. But even there, they were still super limited on what I could get because I was looking for I'm gonna say it wrong. The husk powder, the
psyllium husk.
Yeah, I saw a couple of different like baking recipes that had that in there, and I was like, well, I'll get some of that and try it. And they didn't have any, so that's one I'm gonna have to order. And they didn't even really have like a big bag of almond flour. They just had a smaller one, which I was almost out, so I grabbed. But no, that was the only thing, and I know that's just because of my location.
But that is so cool. I mean, you're such a great example because you have young kids, You're one of the busiest people I know. You have the location issue and you rocked it. Like,
Yeah.
no excuses.
No, I knew like adjusting my food right now with like the season of life that I'm in and how our schedule and stuff is. Because obviously, I mean, but listeners aren't going to know. I have a commute 1 hour, one direction, and my son just started big kindergarten. So my schedule has completely changed. I'm leaving 2 hours earlier from my house than what I normally would. So I knew like driving and working and having little kids and trying to spend time with my husband and them, the only thing I was going to be able to do right now was to adjust my eating habits. And I know that's why I stuck to it this time, like so hard.
Yeah.
Because I was miserable with how I was. Like I hated the extra weight I was still carrying around from having my daughter and she's 3. But I was just stuck. I didn't know what to do. Like I was tired of eating the way we were and I didn't have the time to work out like I wanted to. So I was like, okay, me changing how I'm eating is going to have to be the thing that works for me. And it did amazingly. Like I honestly, and I haven't told you this yet, I put jeans on and clothes on the other day that I have not put on since before I got married, when I was lifting all the time, and they're loose. I weigh less, and I know the number on a scale is just a number on the scale, but I weigh less now than I did when I was lifting all the time.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing, Bridget.
Yeah, I was doing a major happy dance when I went and put some jeans on. I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't worn these since before we were married. Like I lived in the gym when I was able to put those on. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's awesome. Like I'm honestly on a super high note right now.
That is so great. Well, you kind of like have this glow. You just look so healthy.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And I know you were really frustrated when you and I first like started talking about all of this.
Yes.
So it makes me so happy to see all that. And it's such you're such a great example of all sorts of things, but how, people think like I have to bust my butt in the gym in order to like have success and, be at my happy place with my body. And it's not true. And I mean, even as a fitness instructor, might sound weird for me to say no, like, exercise is so important for so many things, but if you're trying to get your body to a healthy place for you, and it's different for everybody, we all have that, like what's right for us, then it does start in the kitchen. That whole
I know, I love that saying, the abs are made in the kitchen, and it's true.
Yeah,
like
it is so true.
You can't outwork a bad eating habit.
Exactly. And then you have like when you start getting healthy, just like starting with the food, then wouldn't you say then you start having the motivation and energy to like add the exercise?
Absolutely. Like I get up at 4:45 every morning now, and I do we have to leave our house at 6:45. So if I want to get anything done, I have to be up at that hour. And honestly, it's still even kind of rushed, but I'm getting up at 4:45 in the morning, and I'm doing anywhere between 15 and 30 minutes of yoga. And then I get ready for my day. I do my makeup, I do my hair. I try to get my kids up at 6 so then they can get something to eat before we go. And we are out the door at 6:45. And honestly, like we don't walk back in our house until like anywhere between 6 and 7:30 that at night. And then they're in bed at like 8:30, 9 o'clock at the latest. And I'm in bed at 9 o'clock too. So, I mean, it's like get home, make supper. It has to be something quick. I'm learning how to use my crock pot very well.
Awesome.
Kind of fell off the wagon with that this last couple of weeks, but our beef is done. So we're going to be able to go pick that up. And then I can start throwing crock pot things together. So then we don't have to worry about that and just plan meals out and stuff together. And my husband's really good at helping with, what do you want me to take out, or what should we have tonight? Like it's opened up both things, because the different recipes he's had now, he's like, can we have that, Philly cheesesteak casserole or whatever? I'll cut the vegetables up. Yep, not a problem. whatever. And then all I have to do is the meat part when we get home. So, I mean, it's rush, rush, rush. So being able to have quick, easy, filling meals, is super handy, super nice,
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
nice. Cause
That's
yeah,
so awesome.
yeah, but no, I totally feel like before I knew I felt better doing some form of a workout, but I had zero energy, zero drive. Like I was like, screw it, it's not working anyway. So why should
Yeah.
I?
Yeah.
And now I'm like, okay, now I want to shred off what I have left and just tighten everything up. And um I feel better. Like I just
Yeah.
feel so much better, so much more energy, and I want to do more for myself. It kind of sounds selfish, but I don't take time for
No.
myself. So doing that 30 minutes in the morning is my time for me.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of a gift for everybody, don't you think? Like it makes us better
Oh yeah.
people.
Jace is like, you're a much happier mom and wife to be around if you go do something, like if you go work out. I said,
Yeah.
yep, I know. And I'm really sorry, but I know.
It's like a small thing to like a small amount of time for a gift for all.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Um, so I mean, I was going to ask you how it's going now, but you've really answered that. I mean, we can see how it's going now. It's amazing. It's awesome.
Yep, we've
What?
continued on. Like I honestly don't see an end in sight for how I'm doing this. And I'm figuring out like I love to bake when it starts to cool off and stuff and like around the holidays. And I've been looking for like alternatives to, like I made a pumpkin cream cheese bars the other day, which I need to send you that recipe. They were
Yes, you do.
die
That
for.
sounds
Like they were
amazing.
super good. But I learned just like how to switch over into that so I'm not missing out on the goodies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something I love about you is like you are always sending me these like amazing things like in Instagram. I love it. And it tells me exactly what I always say people need to do, which is like you have to immerse yourself in this new thing instead of just, being over here like, oh, I can't have this, I can't have that. You have to immerse yourself
Mm-hmm.
and make it fun and just
Mm-hmm.
make it like your new world basically.
Yep.
And you're really good at that.
Well, thanks. And the funny thing with that is like the Instagram thing, I have had so many like keto pages follow me, which is kind of weird in the same way because I've not ever said anything about doing it on my Instagram page. I've not shared any recipes that I've done. I've shared pictures of them, but I'm like, this is kind of weird, but
That's
it's so
interesting.
nice because I'm getting lots of other recipes and stuff. Thank God for Instagram and Pinterest,
I
or I
know.
would be lost. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm constantly looking at that stuff and sending like you recipes. I don't think I've made any of them yet. They've just looked good. I
But
want
it's
to. I've
inspiring.
saved them.
Yeah. It makes you, it's inspiring to see stuff like that and just kind of gives you a little extra motivation, I don't know,
Definitely.
something about it. I love it. And
Yeah.
my gosh, the stuff that you send me, it's always, of course, like I've said before, you're a very creative person. And so I feel like you find these creative things and I'm like, who would ever have thought of whatever? There's so many things you've sent that are amazing. I'm like, oh my
I
gosh.
saw an egg roll bowl one this morning and I was like, oh, I think I need to go get a coleslaw mix for that because that looks really super good. And it looked
Those,
easy.
yes, I've made things like that and they are so good. Those are one of my favorite things. Like I love all the flavors, in one
Yeah, I'm
bowl. So,
definitely gonna have to go do that now.
yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm like, I might have to do that for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of, to kind of like wrap it up, what kind of advice would you have for somebody who's new to keto?
Ask lots of questions. Like, don't leave any stone unturned. Like, if you have a question about it, ask because it's easier to ask like you because it's what you do instead of getting false information from here or there or whatever. So like one of the biggest things here was, well, you can't eat the fruits and the vegetables because of the carbs and the sugars and stuff. God gave you fruits and vegetables to eat. Like he wants you to eat them. So don't just think, oh, I can only eat fats and meat and I can't have anything else. Like, no, it's not right. And had
So true.
I not asked, that's what I thought. That's what turned me off from this for so long was I was like, dude, you can't eat fruit. Like what? Like that is so messed up. And I'm so glad that I asked because you opened so many like, little light rays of light come shining through. Like, oh my gosh, who does this? So no, just like ask questions. And if you're stuck, reach out. Like the biggest thing is to reach out, like find your support system, find your person or your people or whatever. And like if you need motivation, find a pacing partner. Like find someone who can keep you on track. You have to like Chase, my husband, kind of laughed at me for a while for doing it. And then he's like, no, you really do feel better. And he started like supporting me. And now even like he'll look up recipes and he's like, oh, you can't have this because of the sugar though. What can we switch this over to? Like, so I've found like he's realized I feel better. I'm easier to be around. He's been my person. And then now other people are like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? You've not said anything, whatever. But without asking the questions and whatever, and having that support system and someone to reach out to, you're going to be like a fish out of water. Like, just get all of the information that you can and try to get like a firm understanding. And I'm so glad that your program has all of the information. I mean, it was black and white, and anything that I questioned or wasn't quite sure of, I asked. Had I not had you, I wouldn't have asked and I wouldn't have been able to stick with it.
That's awesome. I do feel like there's a lot of like mixed information out there. So I totally get, I mean, that's one reason I started or decided to coach keto specifically for women specifically, because there's some info out there that I was like, oh, it would just make me twitch hearing it, like, no, it's like,
I think a lot of them here, it's like, you have to take this supplement at this time and this one at this time. And it's like, no, I want to eat food.
Yeah.
I don't want to live on shakes or pills or bars or like whatever. Like, obviously, yes, if you're in a jam, and you can't have lunch, but maybe have a keto bar there. Yeah, that would be fine for once in a while. But I wanted food. Like, I wanted to fuel my body how God intended it to be fueled. And it is with food.
Yes. Yes. And that's also why it kind of irritates me when I hear people say like, oh, it's just like a fad. It's, they have all sorts of names for it. It's really back to the basics.
Yeah, I'm guilty. Like I was totally that person. I'm like, oh, it'll blow over, whatever. And then after learning and actually like doing my own research and stuff. And I loved your thing you posted the other day about, like the diet before and the diet now. And it has the two. It's true. It is back to the basics. It's back to your fruits and your vegetables and your meats and your fats. Yeah. Like you don't have all the extra grains and crap in there and I love grains. Like, don't get me wrong, but
yeah. Me too.
They didn't have a lot of those before, and they're changed so much now from all the modifications. So no, it's back to the basics.
Exactly. And I was the same, by the way. Like before, I was like, why are people doing this super unhealthy? Oh my gosh, thing.
Yep. Nope. I was saying about.
And there are ways to do it super unhealthy. So I will acknowledge that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have saw a few things pop up on Instagram and they're like your first keto meal. And I was like, oh, that's so bad. So bad.
Because it's about quality too. Like, it's not just about, like getting, to the size that you want, which I mean, that's good. We all want that. Yes.
Total benefit, but yeah.
It's also about having that long-term health from the inside out. So
absolutely,
just eating processed crap all the time is not going to do it.
Mm-mm. No, not at all.
All right. Do you have anything that you want to say?
I would say if you're curious, definitely reach out and just ask all of the questions. Yeah. There's a reason it keeps surfacing, whether it's like your workouts or a diet specific, like I like to call it a food edit instead of a diet.
I like that.
Just like find someone who's knowledgeable and just ask to clear the air.
Yes. So good. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks for asking. This was fun.
Yeah. All right, you guys, thanks for hanging out with us. And I just wanted to share that my podcast is sponsored by my family owned and operated business, Oregon Valley Farm, which you can find at OregonValleyFarm.com, and on Instagram, Oregon Valley Farm, same with Facebook. You can find me on thatvibrantlife.com, Instagram, healthwithjessica, and Facebook, healthwithjess. All right, have a great day.